We interrupt this program to bring you a message from Satan.
As you know, I am in the Epstein files over 1 million times. No other president can say that. Not Sleepy Joe or Obama, who lives rent-free in my dementia-rattled mind. I don't know Jeffrey Epstein unless you count being his best friend for over 15 years, flying on his jet, going to his island and assaulting women and children. I'll suck the farts out Putin's ass and start World War III before I release the unredacted files. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President DJT.
I'm Pam Bondi, and I approve this message.
Accuse me of a crime, that's a white woman, a white woman. A meth-faced bitch, you should get sky high. That's a white woman, a white woman. Under oath, it's still gonna lie. That's a white woman, Gave Donnie Slapper Topper just to keep her job. When it's all over, she won't even get the charge. That's a white woman, a white woman, a white woman. Look out! Who are they good for? Absolutely no one. From DEI to DUI, the DOD is DIY. Israel first, America last. Now Iran is on that ass. Wanna pull out, but the condom broke. Won't run through homeless, don't want the smoke. Drop bombs over Baghdad. You ready to go? Getting screwed on the daily. You a GI ho, Benny's hiding peak. You on your own, Iran got that fire, bitch. The heat is on. Arrogant racist. Yeah. Who are they good for? Absolutely no one. Arrogant racist. Yeah. Who are they good for? Absolutely no one. Say it again, y'all. Arrogant racist. Look out. Who are they good for? Absolutely no one.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hey!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Knick Knack After Dark with the incredible Trey Rich Live. And we have a very special guest tonight, Mr. Carlos I'm sorry, I want to say it wrong.
How do I say it?
Irizarry.
I don't even know how to say
Erie.
it.
Erie, okay. Irizarry.
See, I was gonna mess that all the way up. Let me put the name down here. I'm gonna just say Trey and Carlos for right now. For right now.
See, let me tell you, I'm an old bitch because back in the day, we used to watch Guiding. I know his last name because I used to watch Guiding Light, and one of the actors had the same last name. So when I saw it, I was like, I know that name.
Oh, period. Are you
Because
family?
I'm an old broad. And you see we got the platinum twins here. You see how we let Trey go and he just out here hoeing, but we
For
can't be
5
mad at
minutes.
it.
Listen,
I'm still a hoe, but I'm a married hoe, so I'm a hoe for my husband.
I know that's right.
yes. Well, welcome in.
As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna be a hoe.
That's my Nikki. That's my girl. He's my girl. Not me hearing him in the background. What'd he say?
Trey say, what you said?
I said big facts.
He said big facts.
That's love. See, that's real love. Okay, come on in the room. But Lady G says, "Hey, cousins." KK Flo says, "Hey, yes, I thought I missed it. No, you did not miss it. We just took a little more time to get online. And yes, blondes do have way more fun.
Yes, we
So
do.
I hear I'm gonna find out this weekend. The goal is to be a bimbo. But
Yes.
anywho, as you guys know, Fridays is our let loose night where pretty much anything goes. Like nothing is off the table. Be afraid, be very afraid.
I love to be afraid.
Ooh. He's one of those. We like it. We like it. But yeah, usually me and Nikki just go off the cuff. Sometimes we're talking about relationships. Sometimes we're talking about sex. Sometimes we're just talking about the raggedy day or week we had. Okay. But as of recent, I've been having some guests on, which is people that I enjoy, people that happen to be my friends and also in entertainment, but also just really good spirits that I feel like people kind of need to hear their story and kind of get to know them on a different level. So that's what we're here to do today with Carlos. I'm I was gonna do like a big old intro, like he's this, he's that, he does everything on his back. But I'm just kidding.
That's a chant.
He's this, he's that, do everything on his back.
Bob.
I'm challenged. But he has a reel that he gave me, and I shortened it a little bit just so you can get a taste before I talk about the things that he's done, and before we dive into asking him questions, because I know everybody's going to have a lot of questions. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. We'll be right back after this message.
Growing up in the Bronx, you have to carry this tough skin. Finding gold, it allowed me to express myself in a way that I couldn't express myself anywhere else.
I can hear you, Trey. Can you hear me?
Woo! Is that better? I'm gonna do it again. Woo! Woo!
That was that was amazing.
Right. You know, I could call him a friend or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I told my daughter who we were having on, so she gave me a few questions to ask.
Okay,
One
come
of
on,
them I know you can't answer. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna ask it anyway.
You never know. He might not be under NDA, you know?
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. So, as you saw, legendary Pose, the Wiz Live. Okay, I'm going to pause there. So, the Wiz Live, can we talk about how the Emerald City scene ate? I
so
loved
bad.
the Emerald City
Yeah,
scene.
it was
Like,
amazing. Actually,
Nikki, did you get a chance to watch the Wiz Live?
I remember it, but I would have to see it again. But
um,
now I'm definitely gonna go back and watch it again so I can see him.
it was actually
It's
amazing.
fucking
It was
right.
actually one of the biggest live Broadway shows on NBC.
Yeah.
It'd be because during that time they had like different shows out live.
Yes,
And
and that was I remember that. I remember that one. That one was huge because that was the time when they were doing live. I think didn't they do like Good Times, or they did they did something live.
They did Hairspray.
Hmm.
They did a few, and then they did the Wiz Live, and it was amazing because the guy that actually did the costumes for Wicked, did the costumes for the Wiz as well. So
That's why they were so good.
Yeah,
They were so good.
That piece the whole piece that I have on was heavy boots. Like they went all in for these costumes, and they were great.
I was living for Daniel's Bob.
Oh,
Like
the
her.
Bob was Bobby. That was the Bobbiana Bob.
Baby. Okay. But anywho, moving on. Sesame Street Live as well. What was that like?
That was fun, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of work, but fun. I
Yes.
did that for like 4 years of my life. We traveled all over Singapore, Canada, all over the states, east, west. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna ask you what your favorite place is, since
Okay.
as performing dancers, like you travel in so many places, but you always find those 1 to 2 places where you're just
You
like,
just fall
I
in
could
love
live
with.
here. I could really live here. And then let's move on to the artists. So Ariana Grande, Camila Cabello, Maya, Fergie, Paula Ab motherfucking Jewel. Okay, Kanye West, Tiana Taylor. It's my cousin. Calvin Harris, Sam Smith, JoJo, Ashley Simpson. There's more and more and more. I'm going to stop there. But last,
You did your research.
but certainly not least, the Renaissance tour with Miss Beyonce. Hello.
And when I saw that, I felt like, because we love the show, so now I'm like, oh wait, you were there, because the dance break stuff, that was our favorite. When they did that part, like, I mean, the whole show was good, but when that segment came, that one I was living for. And then when we went and saw the movie, that's when you really got to like see all the dances and stuff. And I've always loved that type of stuff, and like watching the dancers and like how they come up with it, and different things like that. So like it was just really exciting to see it come together. So having that, I will ask the 2 questions for my daughter. The first I asked the first question is, did you teach Blue Ivy? She wanted to know if you taught Blue Ivy any moves, anything. Did you give her any choreography? And how was she?
Blue is a very, very talented individual. I will say that. I specifically didn't teach her. I feel like when we were in rehearsals, we all got a chance to kind of have moments with her, and um, you know, she was like a sponge, and she picked up, you know, what was being shared in the environment, and that was fun to see. So yeah.
It's always been a joke since she was born that she's the manager, that she's
She
really
really is,
Beyonce's
actually.
manager.
She
So
really is.
is it a little truth to that? Does she keep a tight rein? Does Blue Ivy run a tight ship?
When I was on Renaissance, it wasn't really a tight ship that she was running. She was just really present. But when I tell you this, she was very, very dedicated to when it came to that one section that she came out in. And we would have rehearsal constantly, and then the choreographers were out there. She would want to run it again, and she was very dedicated. She wanted to get the choreography. She wanted to look great. And again, she was a sponge, and she soaked up so much. There was so much great talent around her. So she had access to so many of us, and she was amazing. It was inspiring to be around and to be able to share the stage with her, and to see her now. She's so grown, and she's evolved
Yes.
then. So yeah.
To see the difference between the 2 tours is what did it, because when she first, people talked their shit, but you could tell the dedication that she had by the time we saw the show. And then to see the Cowboy Carter, like it was like, oh, this is the Blue show. Like she really was like, oh, I'm serious about that. So it
Yeah.
was almost like it was just touching, like, because when she came out, and the way that crowd reacted, the way we reacted, it was like that was our baby up there.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
like it
because
really
you
felt like,
saw the development of who she was in Renaissance, and then to see her, everyone got
yeah.
to see her grow and be amazing at what she does. So I'm sure it was emotional. It was emotional for me. I wasn't on Cowboy Carter, but to see the videos, and I'm like, wow, she has really put in the work. So yeah.
Even to see like the Super Bowl performance of the Cowboy Carter situation, I was like, okay, Blue on say.
Yes, because she literally started out looking like Hove, and I'm like, the more she grows, it's getting copy. It's giving copy and paste, like it's paste for real. Now, my second question is, she wants to know when is Act 3 coming. Now, I told her when she listen.
I
That's
want to
my
know too. I honestly
when she
don't know.
I know, because when she said that, I literally put laughing my ass off because ain't nobody gonna say that. But I also feel like even if he did know, on Head of State, whenever Robin Givens would try to say something to Chris Rock, and the Secret Service would grab him, like grab
Right.
him by the
Security.
Yeah.
I
Just
really
snap.
feel like if anybody answer a question about Act 3, that's literally what's gonna happen in real time. It's gonna be like security
Yeah.
and snatch you off the screen. I was like,
That
he is
NDA
not gonna notice if
I can only.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
he is not gonna know this information. But listen, we're gonna have the coins ready. Do you think will you be joining that one?
I am always hopeful.
Okay.
My process joining the Renaissance tour. I mean, even in 2022, we'll get into this more in depth. But in 2022, I was living in Atlanta, and I was with my partner, and I got the email. I got a email of an NDA. They didn't have an artist on it, and then I was waiting a couple of days to hear back from who the artist was. And when I got the email, it said Parkwood Entertainment, and then I saw that I was coming in as a contributing, like one of the 5 contributing choreographers. I don't even know if I can say this, but for the visuals, I was I I was like, this cannot be real, I was excited, and so I didn't dream of that. I was only manifesting and wishing it, and then there I was, like being a part of the process, and that was such a dream come true. Because even before that, I was a huge Beyonce fan. Like, she was like my dream artist. So it was so surreal to like be a part of that whole process, and then to go on tour in 2023 was even like another dream come true. So
Wait,
prayers
so
are real. So
pause. So when you got the email about contributing as well, being a contributing choreographer, were you actually, did you know you were going to be touring as a dancer?
no.
So how did that happen?
I love telling this story. It's amazing. So I will never forget. I got the call on March, a little bit before we hit March. It was in February. I got the email, and they said, we're gonna fly you out on this day, which was March 9th. And the moment I landed in LA, I went straight into rehearsal, into like choreographer mode. They gave me 2 dancers, one dancer that was mimicking Beyonce, everything that she was gonna learn, and they gave me the song on Renaissance, the voguing track.
Which one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so they gave me that track, and then fast forward, she releases that she's going on tour. This was like June. She dropped the album in like June or July or something like that. And then around November and October, she announced that she's going on tour, and I'm like, I have to get in this, like whatever it is. And then I get hit up by the team, and they're like, what's your height? And in my head, I'm like, F my height. Like, I'm tall.
That is the bane of a dancer. Asking what our height is. What do you want me to dance or not?
Because I have my own theory about height. It's like the people that are gonna come see the show. Like, I get it from a choreographer's point of view, but from an audience member, like, I'm not going there to see if the dancer is just as tall as an artist,
or they match it right.
And if we got shoes on or boots on or whatever the clothing may be, I'm gonna look taller than I am, and then the camera's gonna add a whole different way, because when you're in front of the camera, it adds height and weight to you, And so, I was a little stressed, but then I went to like 4 auditions, and then 4 auditions later, I got the booking. Literally on March 9th, a year later. So I got the call to be a choreographer March 9th of 2022. March 9th, 2023, I booked the job. It was like full circle moment.
Look at God.
Oh my God. Look at God. And it's not even about height, because I distinctly remember for Janet back in Rhythm Nation, I can't remember his name, but she had a very short guy, but he was good.
Yeah.
And he was one of her principal dancers.
Gil was one of them, but there was another guy that was very
Tice.
short. Was it Tice? Black, bald. What is it? He's like an old school
dancer.
And I remember like this thing because he was one of her principal dancers, like during Rhythm Nation. Listen, as long as you can dance, don't nobody care. Because honestly, where you sitting from, all y'all look small. Like it depends on where you sitting from.
That part.
Everybody looks small, but the part in Renaissance, like all the dancing was good, but when they gave like the Vogue section was great. Side note, segue. The other day, I forgot what I was talking about, but I ended up talking about, somebody, I was watching a video and someone did a death drop. So I'm in bed next to my husband. He was like, "What is a death drop?" So I'm trying to
It's
explain.
actually called. I don't want nobody coming for you, Nikki.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
But death drop is like a drag race term that the
Oh,
ballroom
okay.
culture has been trying to fix for such a long time. But it's actually called a dip.
A dip. Okay. So see,
Yep.
ladies and see, the straights are learning. The straights are learning.
Got you,
So
boo. Got
it's
you.
it's dip. So he looks it up. So he goes to TikTok and he puts in death drop, right? So he's watching some videos and he was like,
I cannot.
I said, see, I say that's the duck walk. And he was like, but it was a room full of men, but they look straight. So he was like, look at all these men though. Because they look like trade. And so it was hilarious because then when he finished watching the videos, he starts exiting out. I was like, oh, you don't want your algorithm to have duck walking. I was like, it don't work like that, babe. You might see some
Can you
dancing.
imagine? He just keeps getting videos of death of dips. I think so. Some
What you
things.
said, babe?
I don't even call it that. I've never called
He
it
talking
that.
about something should work like that. But he was amazed to see like, oh, like that's what they do. And then I saw Duran Bernard the other day. He was giving a lesson to the straights about how we're supposed to do this, but they're doing this. And he was like, stop playing with the pre-com.
Yo.
He was like, stop playing with the pre-com. He was like, it's like this. And I was like, okay, we finally have confirmation. Which I always thought, I was like, no, it's this. I don't think it's this, it's this. And so
Yeah,
like he broke it down for the straights. Because you know the cis girls, we like to, colonize them, we colonize the gays.
Colonizer.
No.
You are colonizer.
You are heterosexual colonizer.
Yes, but wait, let me see here. Because I had some things I really wanted to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So when we were just talking about the Super Bowl, he also did Boricua Bonito Bowl with Bad Bunny.
Oh my, come on now, Carlos. Listen, you gotta tell us about that. We gotta give us the tea about the Super Bowl.
And
how did you get picked for that?
So obviously there were a lot of dances, but he got some screen time.
I did.
He got some screen time. Listen, because so here's the thing. Like, as a dancer, you never know where they're going to place you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So sometimes, like if they're like, oh yeah, he's killing it, or like he has a good look, they'll be like, okay, let's put you in the front or toward the side. But like if you get to rehearsal on a bad day and you're either just not getting it, or like they just don't like your look for that day, you could be placed in the field, in the back. So
wow,
he did something right. So he got plenty of camera time. Tell us about that experience, Carlos.
Oh my goodness, another story I love to tell actually. So I get a phone call from my dad. He's like, Did you hear the news? Bad Bunny has been chosen to do the Super Bowl." And I'm like, "No way." Hit up my agency. I was like, "Hey, if you guys hear anything about the Super Bowl, please let me know." Silence. Fast forward, I get an email from my agency, and they're like, so they want to see you for the Super Bowl. These are the dates. They're having different time slots for, Latinx. And then they're gonna have time slots for people that are not Latinx. And I'm like, great, okay, cool. I head to the audition, and before I even get to the audition, the line is already long. But when you look at the line, it clearly says Latinx.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't give a hell about proper information. They just want the job, And on the line, there were a lot of people that weren't Latinx, which was very
A bunch of
unfortunate.
white bitches, a bunch of like. I'm just kidding.
I thought it. You said it. No shade.
I'm a quarter Latino. I did
Exactly, and that's
23andMe.
what it was giving. It
I'm a
was like,
quarter Latino.
right.
Habla
It was like, oh, I'm
españolo.
passable. I'm like, baby, like, and so I thought it was pretty interesting to see the level of respect that I would have imagined some of these dancers will give the actual people that were online that were actually Latinx, and so it put a lot of things into perspective in how dancers move and and how they think, but um Charm walked out, one of the choreographers, Charm, she walked outside and she even gagged, like, with the amount of people that were there. And so obviously things were running behind, but, we got to go in there and I got to audition. And they were having three auditions. They were having one for the hip hop section, one for the Latin section, and then they were auditioning like actors and family members and grandpas and grandmas. And so I didn't do the audition for the extra because I just knew that I would do the hip hop section or I would do the Latinx section. I mean, the salsa section. And so I auditioned and then I came back for the salsa and got kept. And this was when we were going into the holidays. So we weren't going to hear anything for like 2-3 weeks. Dreadful. It's like you can't even enjoy the holiday season. The worst.
The worst
feeling.
Waiting on a motherfucking callback.
gosh.
Not even just a dancer, just
Yeah.
anybody. If you're an actor,
Mhm.
like going for a commercial or waiting for a callback is torture.
Yeah, it is pure
Torture.
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 It is. And you know what? It's one of those things where they don't have to tell you if you booked it or not. You just never hear from them, and obviously, oh, I didn't book the job. And so I'm getting ready for work. It's a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. I do sometimes when I can't go to church, I do like church online. Watch church sermon was great. Getting ready to work. The night before, I got a call from a number, my agent's number, that I don't have saved. So I'm like, who's this? And then I heard the voice note, and it was like I could barely hear because I was out and about getting my whole life in WeHo. And then I get the call again on Sunday, right before I get to work, and she's like, "Hey, Carlos, this is Misha," and I'm like, "Oh my god! Like, is she gonna tell me what I'm about to hear?" And she was like, "You booked the Super Bowl," and I like jumped up. I was screaming, "I'm so sorry!" I was crying, because I knew how important this meant to my parents. They live in Puerto Rico. They've endured a lot of the things that Puerto Rico has gone through and still is going through.
Oh wait, so you're not Latinx? You are Puerto Rican.
I'm Puerto Rican.
So this was like,
Yeah.
like if this was like
top notch,
the moment for
the
you.
moment.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah. And so, I all day at work I wasn't even present. I was literally crying like every other hour. I was just thinking about how proud my parents were gonna be and how proud it was a moment for me being Puerto Rican from the Bronx, growing up as a child, having family come over for the holidays, cooking, live instruments, my dad dressing up as Santa Claus when we were kids and had no idea, traveling to Puerto Rico to celebrate cousins' birthdays and going out to the beach. And, there was so much attached to this performance for me as a Latino and understanding what Benito was going through and not giving up on his dreams. There was so much relatability there. So
Yeah.
I was excited to start the process for it all. And then, the great part about it is I work at Lululemon, and so my job was super supportive of it, and they were supportive of me doing the job, and they made sure that I had the days off. So that made it the experience even more
That's
better.
dope.
Yeah.
Because sometimes real jobs be
They won't-
Haters.
They do.
hating.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be a dancer, why are you working
Yeah.
here? Like, well, you should find somebody else to cover your shift.
Yeah.
You should have known about this sooner. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
bitch, just because you're fucking basic.
Yeah.
I'm not
Another thing too.
I'm not mad.
Another full circle
I'm
moment.
not triggered.
The year before in September, when was this? 2025. My best friend Danielle Polanco, who you don't know who she is, she's a major choreographer, dancer. She's amazing. She actually got the opportunity to choreograph the beginning of the football season, the halftime show in Brazil for Karol G.
Oh.
So I actually got to open up the football season for the very first time in history in Brazil, my very first time in Brazil.
Work.
And I got to open up with Karol G. So to close off the season with Bad Bunny with two huge Latin artists
Oh, yeah.
was like the
Yeah.
icing, so Yeah.
Look at
That's
God.
amazing. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. Lord.
Yeah.
God is good,
He's
good.
so good.
See, I love
He is.
this. I love this.
Have you ever been like just did you meet him and Bad Bunny and talk to him and all of that?
During the rehearsal process, we didn't get to speak to him because this was also he had heightened security because of all the death threats that he was getting because of being chosen to do a Super Bowl. So they were running a very tight ship. But the day of the performance after, he came to the tent where we were in, and he came personally and thanked us and loved on us and gave us our props and just poured into us and said, "Thank you so much for being present. I appreciate each and every single one of you." You know, sometimes you don't get artists that do that. You know, there's so
Mm-hmm.
many things that are going on, and they go from one job to the next, or if they're on tour, they have to leave. But he made it a priority to come back and show us some love, and that was like the cherry on top of the performance. It was
That's
like,
awesome.
wow. And I have a video of it, and so it's like it's also so personal, you know, to like have that. And it was amazing. He did that. You know, not too many artists do that, so it was a blessing for him to come and give us his blessings and to say thank you. You know, yeah,
He seems like the type that would do that. Don't get me like I don't know all of his. I thought I didn't know his music because I'm like I know who he is,
yeah,
but I listen. I forever live in a time warp from like early 2000s beyond. So like I see shit on TikTok. So when the show started, I'm like, oh, I know that song from like social media and stuff. And I'm like,
right.
I'm sitting here thinking I'm gonna watch this show and I'm not gonna know shit. But then I started hearing it and I'm like, oh, I do know his music. I was like, I don't know nothing he's saying, but it's it sounds good, and I like it goes to show how universal music
Music is, yeah,
and dancing is
yeah,
because you don't have to speak like you don't have to understand what they're saying to know the music itself and how it translates and transcends, and then the dancing on top of it, like you don't have to speak when you're dancing, so
you're
you can just feel the vibe and like it, and
right.
like dancers are just very important because as great as an entertainer may be, they're really not an entertainer without their dancers.
Yeah,
Like,
they're the extension of the artist. You know, they help tell the
yes, it's
story.
like
Yeah,
when you go see a show, I don't want to see a singer or somebody that's just standing on the stage. Like you could sing, but I just don't. I wouldn't want to just okay. You're with the mic, and I no. I want to see
creativity.
some
Yeah,
dancing and that makes it good. Have you ever? What is um what is a job that you either regret or is it what's one is there a job that you took that you regret? And then the second question is, have you met an artist or you worked for an artist that you were excited about and then after it was over you were disappointed? You don't have to mention them if you don't want if you can't
I'm
mention it
not
because I
gonna
know how
mention
this
who the
goes.
artist is at all,
You know,
but I expected the artist to be a little nicer. Um, but that wasn't the experience. Grateful to have worked with this individual. If I say anything else, people are probably gonna put two and two together just by
Oh,
saying,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's
So,
not B at all. She was
oh,
amazing.
okay. No, no, no. Yeah.
Um, just to set the record straight, because I don't want anybody saying bitch like,
like,
oh, he's
oh,
talking about Beyonce. I am not. This artist was amazing. And this I think this artist has a reputation of like, if you haven't worked with her demeanor. I think it was more of her demeanor and where she is in her life. That might play a role in it, but I wouldn't have changed anything. I wasn't disappointed at all. Um, when you think about who this artist is, you think about the trials and tribulations that they've endured and how that molds you to be the type of person that you are. Not that I'm saying that it's okay, but you grow into this individual that has this demeanor that you've had to be like that because of certain circumstances in their career. So, but I don't think I've been blessed and knock on wood that I have not worked on a job that I have not like regret or
Gaga, I knew it. It's Gaga. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yo,
I
okay.
don't think I didn't
Okay.
know. I didn't go Gaga. I kind of went somewhere else. But I didn't go.
Where did you
I
go,
didn't.
Where did you
babe?
go?
Yeah. It was a hit.
I'm gonna put it like this: the Block is a paid actor. The emphasis on the Block.
Oh no, haven't worked with her yet, actually.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
But I have heard things about working with her. Actually, that's so funny you say that. From
Oh
obviously,
wow.
yeah. But I haven't worked with her. I have friends that have. I don't know if that's been their experience, but I heard dancers have had experiences with her. And so, you know, not that I never wish that I don't work with her, but I wish that if I do work with her, that she's in a better headspace. You know, that she's in a good
Oh,
mood.
I mean, because you
okay.
kind of have to think about it. Like as an artist, you're suddenly not sometimes suddenly, but you are thrust into this position of power,
Yeah,
but also a position of extreme vulnerability
yeah,
and just extreme targeting
yeah.
from
Mhm.
all different sides. Like it could be good targeting, it could be bad targeting, it could be just like annoying targeting.
Hmm.
Just because as someone who is a teacher and kind of known when I used to be in the industry like that, I've experienced things and I was just like, so this is just on my level. What is it like if people all over the world think they know you like this
Yeah,
and think they can just
Mhm.
come up to you and say, "Can I get a picture?" when you're just trying to buy a
be
pair of
human,
socks,
right?
or you're just trying to get something to eat, or you're just with your people, just in your bubble. It's tricky. So I understand sometimes when people have to like cocoon up or just kind
Hmm.
of be cold
Be
to like
stern,
to
yeah.
be stern.
Hmm.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Like it, and just when I put my mind on just like being a regular person that just works a 9 to 5, you don't really understand. Even when it comes to artists doing like meet and greets, when they're like, okay, why are they trying to leave now? They don't want to meet everybody. No, no, they don't. They actually want to go somewhere and probably take a nap
Yeah.
because they probably came from
Mhm.
another city and another interview
And
and
it's
another
yeah.
this and another that and a rehearsal and blah blah blah. So a lot of people don't understand the lifestyle of an artist and the things that fall under artists,
Yeah.
be that a dancer, be that like a background singer, or just anyone that is in the industry and has a name that people that more than 5 people will know of.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's tricky. It's
Yeah, it is
tricky.
tricky.
It's very tricky.
Not until you've walked in their shoes, you have no idea.
Mhm.
And I think that, when I was working with B, you see a lot of the documentaries that, she's a workaholic. She doesn't get any sleep. And you're like, oh, wow, that's crazy. But like working with her, like in real time, she's a monster. She does not sleep. She stays up. When she's working, everyone is working. Nobody goes home. You know, she made everybody feel as one. And when things weren't going right, she questioned her team. She never took no for an answer. I'm obviously when you saw the Renaissance movie, there's a
Mhm.
moment that she tells the camera guy like, "Oh, there's not a camera that can catch this," and she's like, "No, there is a camera that can do that because I researched it and here it is." It's like
And
nothing gets it by her. The vision and how she sits and she looks and everything is so detailed, and granted she's a Virgo like me, like I get the aesthetic of like perfection and wanting to deliver, because at the end of the day, people are paying a lot of money to go see her, and so her job as an artist is to give you an experience that is going to last for a lifetime, and so there were times when we were rehearsing in
and
Paris, that we would stay till like 2 in the morning, just trying to get things right. And sometimes we will be waiting, but it's all a part of the process.
I
Yeah.
appreciated her more. I appreciate because my daughter's a Virgo too, so I understand that part. But I appreciated her. It's like how you like an artist. I was like, okay, I'm in the hive, but I'm not like stand level. but it wasn't. But it wasn't until like I mean, like the real. But it wasn't. I didn't become one until like you see her live, because
Yeah,
that's when you see the artistry at work when you're there
yeah,
live.
yes,
Because I people don't appreciate the way that she can put things together, and me being a person like for a creative person, like how I do the songs and stuff for the show, and you're trying to piece things together, or it's like you have an idea. Her ear is crazy with the things that she mixes, and she doesn't get a lot of credit for those mixes, because you would have never thought to do a remake of Frankie Beverly and then mix it with Candy. Like
hmm
you and there was it was a thing that it was another one. It blew my mind because it was on the Renaissance. And we were mad looking at the movie because I was like, bitch, you didn't wear this for our show. Like I wanted to see these looks. Like it was good. But I was like, we wanted to see this. But when you go back to some of the music that she does during like the little breaks and things, the way she merges certain songs together is fucking
genius,
insane. It's
genius.
it reminds me of how Mariah does interpolations. Nobody can fuck with Mariah when it comes with interpolations, because to this day, the fact that she took the Willy Wonka theme and put the Brat and Crazy Bone on it. No, you can't. You that
Yeah,
is
gift.
insanity.
That
Yeah,
is
that's a
good.
gift. Yeah,
That is
you.
that right there is insane. Only she could sit there and take the melody of the Willy Wonka theme and give it to you with the Brat and Crazy. Nobody can do like those. They don't really get the credit for those types of choices, because not everybody can do that. Like to
Yeah,
say I'm gonna take this song but mix it with this song and make something different to where I'm still giving homage to both while
yeah,
doing something different, and just seeing all of the work that goes into the show. Like you literally get your money's worth.
yeah.
Okay?
Every
Like
penny.
I wasn't floor. I'm too old and I'm a big bitch and I'm not standing up. I love you, but I'm
Yo,
not standing. No. I and I'm short. So I like to be up high but center, and you can see the screens, and
yep,
we it was really good for Renaissance. We were kind of on the side, but I made sure Cowboy Carter we were like straight where we could see.
yeah,
But to visually see how she puts things together and how it all comes, and how the dancers and everything is so cohesive and
yes,
all that, it's like I had a newfound respect
yeah,
for how she puts shit together. So when people be like, "Oh, she don't deserve this and that," yes, the fuck she
yes,
does.
he does.
And
Okay, yes, yes, she does, because you can tell that the work is put in. When you paying for them tickets,
Yeah, and
you
and
you
you
get
know,
you getting the money.
I'll share something really great that maybe a lot of people don't know, but and I think they touched base on. A lot of her creation, Act One, Two, and Three came during COVID. When obviously we had downtime to kind of get creative, and so originally the first tour was supposed to be Cowboy Carter. The second was supposed to be Renaissance, and then the third was supposed to be I don't know what is they're saying rock, but um during the state of where the world was, she felt like Renaissance was going to be able to resonate more to where we are because, Trump was in office. He was like trying to
Hmm.
come for the LGBTQI community, and then she was like, I feel like we need to dance. I feel like
Yes.
we need to like just rejoice and escape from everything that we're currently going through. And so I think it was a brilliant choice for her to choose Renaissance. And I also thought that it was brilliant that, people were so used to like her doing like music videos for all her songs and all this stuff. And then she was like, in my head, when I would see her every day, I felt like she went back to wanting people to fall in love with who she was. And originally, she sings, so for her to start off the show with four ballads, four of her strongest ballads, it was like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna remind y'all why y'all love me, And
Hmm.
every show she did a different keynote, a different change in the tone and the flow, and like there were days that there was almost a time where she almost canceled the show because she wasn't feeling good. she pushed through. It was just so amazing to see her just like fight. And there were moments where she was sick and people didn't even know that she was, you know? And so it
Mm-hmm.
shows like her resilience and like her expertise as an artist and the importance of like just pushing through, you know? It just inspired us to push through the show because, you know, we were on that stage dancing for 3 hours, baby. We was tired. Okay. So
Do you feel like with her? Do you feel like working with her is like, damn, bitch, I ain't working hard enough? Do you did you have the moments where you feel like, dang, I ain't working hard enough?
oh no, babes. It was we knew that the show was being recorded for something special and every show. So the funny thing is that if a lot of people don't know this, but when an artist does overseas first, is the test run before she actually gets to the States. So our
Mhm.
first city, I think, was Switzerland or Sweden. So that was like those cities were kind of like test cities to test out the costumes. And when I tell you that we had each dancer had about 89 looks. L- Mind you, that we had there was like 22, 23 of us on that tour. So each dancer had 89 all labels, all YSL, Jean Paul Gaultier, Lanvin. We were in
I know you were
heaven.
just like
I was like,
spinning,
put me up in the labels, babe, because all these looks are
Do you
sickening.
get
And
to
so
keep them? Do
I
you get to
wish,
keep?
I
Oh,
wish
damn.
they get archived. And mind you, they're tailored to your body. So it's like nobody else could wear the shit that you just had on, you know? I
Well,
would say
there's
this.
that.
Right. I would say this. When we were rehearsing in LA, one day we walked into rehearsal and we saw boxes on boxes on boxes. We said, these are some big boxes, babes. Like each dancer had a huge box full of Ivy Park gear. Blue, orange, green, sneakers. Baby, we went shopping and each rehearsal we had a color theme. So all the dancers would come one day in all blue and head to toe Ivy Park. Army fatigue when they are like it was just so like the experience was so amazing. I was like, she gifted us so much stuff, you know. And then at the ending of the tour in Kansas City, like a week later, we received one of a kind Ivy Park bag with a tote inside with our last look of the tour, which was like the all black Ivy Park trench coat jackets that we had, the top, the
Mhm.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So
That
Oh, that's
is
so awesome.
yeah,
I'm no, I'm not gonna. I would die because seeing some of them looks, I always wonder if they get to keep the cloak. Cause like just
I
seeing
wish.
because the
Uh,
Yeah.
costumes, her costumes are always,
looks were
and
looking
to
the
see how she's
Poochie.
evolved.
Yes. Yes.
I love, but I'm glad you got to. I'm glad that y'all got like all the Ivy Park in that.
Yeah.
You know, because that's one thing. It seems like she really does like take care of the artist. Because
She
you
does.
know Trey's talked about how you have artists that are just like, oh, you're dancers, you're just, you're peasants. But to
Yeah,
be in a
It's
space,
like
and
that.
it's still happening in the industry, you know. It's interesting because I think that there's one artist that has set a new caliber, and that's Taylor Swift gifting her dancers what she did, and her crew was like a once in a lifetime opportunity for a dancer. A lot of dancers don't experience that type of blessing, So for to know that Taylor Swift went above and beyond for what she did, and it was because of an experience that she had when she first came out. There was a DVD that came out, and none of the dancers got residuals, and so all the dancers got together and was like, we're not going on, we're not doing the show until we get a raise, and that kind of opened up her eyes. And so for her to gift her dancers money for the next 5 years to be able to buy a house and still have money left over, a car, like to give $500,000 to each one of her, like that's unheard of, and so I
yeah,
hope artists look at her as an example and say, like, dancers are athletes and we really pour our heart and soul into it, and we sacrifice so much for the vision of the artist, and we help bring the vision to life, that every dancer should be able to get that caliber.
Pause. Help bring the vision. Dancers are the vision.
Yeah, we are the vision. No shade.
yeah.
I was trying to be nice.
No,
Vision, no shade.
no, don't because
Yeah.
it doesn't come together. Again, nobody wants to pay money to see somebody with a fucking microphone just standing there. Like you need to, dance. Now I would like Mariah, I love her, but she be trying. You know, she do her little 2-step, but she got her dances because she's like, listen, y'all
Y'all
niggas
do
gonna
y'all
dance.
thing,
Right.
I'm not. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna do my thing. Um, y'all do yours. So what is there an artist or is there a situation where your agency would call you to do a job and you would be like, absolutely not?
That has not happened yet.
That hasn't happened yet. Okay, Trey, is there somebody you would be like, absolutely the fuck not?
Yeah, looking back, and it's not even artists, it's more so like companies.
Hmm.
Because we get booked for like how can I say industrials
Yeah, a
and
lot of different things. Yeah.
like the thing that took me out of the industry and made me realize I was like, no, I'm not this person. I'm not that dancer that you can do like that. Was like a job for a particular makeup company, a very popular makeup company.
I know who it is.
Mhm.
And actually, I think we booked it. We were in the same
Oh.
audition. We booked the same job.
You were supposed to do that?
I did
Why
that.
didn't you?
I did a different one. I did.
Oh, that's right. Because they had different dances and different
Yes.
going to different places.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
You know what? I do regret a job.
Was it that one?
That same job.
Yeah.
Not because we were treated a certain type of way, but because of what we had to endure.
The glitter?
The fucking glitter, baby.
The fucking glitter. No.
First of all, the shit that they would put on before the glitter. So we would have to put on tar, black tar on our faces before the amount of clothes and sneakers that I had to throw away. I was pissed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh my god, I did not know you was. I'm so sorry, Trey.
no, here's the thing.
Did you ever do the job? Or you
I
said
did.
No? Okay.
I did.
Okay.
But like I had such a bad experience, and the agency wasn't backing me up, and I was like, "Oh, that's how you think of us? Oh, you could? Oh, okay. I'm expendable. Me? Okay." So, on my job, I know you had to put like some type of tar and thick. This bitch used eyelash glue on my whole face. Eyelash glue
That
on my whole face.
We gotta fight.
That's a lawsuit.
We gotta fight.
We gotta fight.
Let me tell you. So first,
Wow, I did not know that.
First, let me just say that it kept things in place. And after that job, it happened to be like by Halloween. So I was just like, let me just keep this glitter on and add this to whatever look I'm wearing for Halloween. So I do that. And then I get home and I realize they're going to have to like apply it again for the next day. So I'm just like, okay, but let me wash it off. They'll do it again.
Wow.
I use soap and water. I think I told the story before. I use soap and water. Nothing even moved. Like just not a piece of glitter fell off. Not even a piece of glitter. So then I was like, how do people usually remove makeup? Oil. This will be great. I slap oil on that thing. I'm just like rubbing. I'm like, I feel things starting to move a little bit. But then I'm just like, okay, it's not really like, come on, let me just get in the shower. Maybe like the hot water will make it like come off. So I get in the shower. Once the hot water hits it, it just melts. Like not the type of melt that like it's just like rolling off. It's the melt that's like it's sealing my eyes shut. I can't breathe. I'm blowing bubbles out of my nose. Like it was the worst experience of my entire life. And like so much so, I got enough like off my eyes. I was just like, I have to go to sleep. Like this is too much for me. Then I got up the next morning, like really early, just so I had time to just try to figure it out and get it all off. And it still was doing the same thing. It took hours before I was even to get most of it off to leave and go to the job. So I ended up being late to the job, and I explained to my agency, and there was just like a whole scuffle of things with that. And then on our job, the people are supposed to have your music and a device for you to play the music on. They didn't have that. So we couldn't go out and perform, but we were blamed. it was the wildest shit to me.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, it was
That's horrible.
wild. It was wild.
They should have been held accountable for that.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the
Because God
last.
forbid you could have woken up with your eyes wide shut because of
Literally!
so many things could have.
Literally,
I'm surprised my skin didn't break out the way that it did.
yeah, no,
Because
literally.
I would
That
have.
is it's one thing to sacrifice for the art, but see,
But
that
babe-
goes to them not like you when you're in situations like when they don't know how to do black hair, or
Yeah.
you know, they're used to just dealing with white people, so you're in the industry as, you know, a black person or a Latino person, and they don't know, you know, how the lighting is, and they don't know how to, you know, put the right foundation on and all this type of stuff. They just like, you know, and then when you see where we've come from, what we used to have to deal with, to now there are more options, but to still know that you have people in the industry that just don't want to learn how to deal black skin and how to properly, because who in your right mind would say, I'm gonna put eyelash glue on your face?
Anything for the job. It's like, no, baby. Like,
Duo.
No.
Duo on my face.
Oh my God.
All over my
that's
face.
Insane.
And to
like,
think of that, and to
you know how
Like-
eyelash glue acts, though. Like,
yes,
you know what that does give you that thing.
Yeah.
because it's gonna stick, bitch. It's gonna stick.
Rubbing, oil, Dawn. Like, there were so many. My face was so raw by the time I got back to the job.
Irritated. Ooh.
Is dancing to get into dancing? Is it ever the opportunities where you can genuinely make a living and you don't have to work side jobs? Is it like is it?
Yes, but that's like a back-to-back touring dancer. Like, those are that's like some of the dancers that will be dancing for Janet or dancing for Madonna, maybe like a Mariah, because some of these dancers are actually held on retainer, but not that that is not few far between. Like, I'd say out of, let's say, 15,000 dancers, there's probably about 1,000 to 1,500 of them that will experience that in their career.
Yeah. I feel like it also boils down to loyalty. You know, there's a lot of dancers like Janet Jackson who are loyal to her dancers.
Right.
Madonna is loyal to her dancers. Beyonce at one time was loyal to her dancers. You know, but yeah, I agree with you. This not sometimes artists switch up dancers, you know, just for a certain look or a certain vibe. But I feel like that Britney, that used to be a thing of the past. I don't feel like artists do that now, you know? Like, very few
Because
artists
you will be able to identify, like I said with Janet. I know Tina, or I would know like
you knew Gil, you knew Tina, you
Tice.
knew Tice, you knew Shawnette, like you knew
Exactly.
you knew
knew. And so when you would watch the videos and stuff, you kind of felt like, oh wait, she really does hang out with them, or it felt like that. Because I remember the Janet tour, or just seeing the Rhythm Nation, but actually going to the Janet tour, but watching the videos and stuff, and always seeing the same dancers. And and you don't see that anymore, because it was like there was a time where you knew when you went on here, like how Beyonce used to have Ashley, and you get used to seeing certain people, and I don't think they really do that anymore, because everything is, I'm reinventing myself, so it's like I have to have this certain look. But that used to be a thing, and I thought, like, I really wish they would get back to that, because I'm sure they had stability, and it was more like, you know, a family. But I feel like people, you know, you don't want to spend the money like that, because if you have somebody where you're constantly using them, you know, you have to pay them, versus, okay, well, I'm going to use you a little bit, pay you, and then, you know, move on. Everybody's trying to, you know, save $1, but you want to have this, you know, this production.
Extravagant show. Yeah.
So I just wish, like, for dancers and creatives, like, it was just something like, even it seems like sometimes actors can be more steady than, like, you know, dancers, because you don't want to have to, like, have 2 jobs, and then, you know, always fighting with your main job to be able to go do what you really, you know, you really want to do. Do they have, like, dancers have a union?
now
Now we do.
But like, you would think of how long dancers have been carrying shows, that number one, they would not be the least paid. And number two, would have been had a union and protection. And then number three, that there would be some type of loyalty to them. That's just not true. But like now there is a union.
And we're still fighting for
still
things.
fighting.
Yeah.
Still fighting. Still
for
fighting.
Rates, for
hazard pay.
Yeah. Being a dancer is honestly not for the weak.
It is not.
It's not.
It is not. And I left because I was just like, okay, I don't see myself, how can I say, enduring this anymore. Not, I wasn't weak. Like when I tell you, like I have been in it for the win it and have pushed and pushed, but luckily me, I'm
multi-talented.
Yeah, I'm a multi-hyphenate. So there's thank you.
We love Trey. Trey is the jack of all trades. How was it doing Legendary? I have to go back and see that because Vince just said he was pop in because
pause. We're gonna take a little commercial break so we can go refill our drinks, and then we're gonna get into Legendary and some ballroom stuff.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Just like a little bit of tea because I have some things that I kind of want to talk about and kind of bring to the surface.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, quick little commercial break, and we'll be right back after this message. Yes.
You said just comply, don't ask why. Follow orders, you'll be fine. Back the blues, the bats don't lie. Now ice killing white people and you want us to cry. Ice kicking in your door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was America ain't free no more. American born no longer applies. Same advice, motherfucker, comply or die. Fresh off the boat, motherfuckers with an attitude. No papers, no English, anti-black and rude. You POC, but you wanna be YT. Seat at the table, as an equal you'll never be. Came to this country off the civil rights side. Get your money up, then stab us in the back. You hate us, but you need us. Gotta make it make sense. When it comes to the whites, y'all just niggas with accents. Let them know y'all just niggas with accents. Let them know y'all just niggas with accents. Let them know y'all just niggas with accents. I said what I said, lo dije y que I meant what I said, lo sostendré. I don't give a fuck how you feel, no me importa cómo te sientas. If you voted for Trump, raft in peace, valsa en paz.
FTP Podcast has partnered with Savage X Fenty. New members get up to 60% off site-wide with Savage X Rewards. Exclusive pricing and discounts on Fenty Beauty and Fenty Skin. Access this special offer via our link tree at linktr.ee/FTP Podcast Show. Savage X Fenty, delivered by FTP.
Silk Press Jesus has returned. He's white, historically rebranded, and grinder approved for Christian comfort. Don't miss your blessing. Order now.
Get on out, get out, get on out. Can't stay on the scene unless you got that green. Whoa! Get out, get on out, get out, get on out. Ice is on that ass, you don't get a fourth chance. Whoa! Get out, get on out, whoa, get out. I didn't vote black, got that ass in back. Whoa, get out, get on out, whoa, get out.
And we're back.
Well, apparently our live was so controversial on TikTok that I've been permanently banned.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We
Like,
were waiting for that.
and I was meant to tell you to take it off the live or whatever, but so my 90,000 followers, whatever. So fuck it. Like it's like we wasn't even talking about it. We're talking about dance. Like what the fuck? And that's what it was because I was on TikTok before we did this, so I know it has to be the live. And we're not even talking about anything.
Right.
I know.
So you know what? Hey, whatever. It is what it is. Nobody has time.
Fuck TikTok.
Exactly. It is what it is.
All right. So now,
Fuck TikTok.
and we're back. So now we're about to dive into some ballroom things, and particularly legendary, because that's pretty much probably how people know this face. It's legendary. HBO.
Now on Tubi, if you didn't know.
It's on Tubi?
It is on Tubi.
Oh.
Yeah. You got to go through the searches, but it's on there, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also gotta watch it.
Canceled that because it was a key to watch. So tell us
I have
about
so many emotions about that.
Okay, yeah. So let's tell us about what it was like behind the scenes. So one of the people that was doing the costumes was a friend of mine, Maggie Berry.
Oh, that's your friend?
Yes.
Hey, Maggie.
Yes.
So sweet.
Maggie is amazing.
Yeah, she's great, actually.
Amazing.
That's exactly what we
Like
talked about.
when I tell you, like has done costumes and things since Studio 54. Like literally worked the door at Studio 54.
Amazing.
Has dressed anyone from Michael Jackson to Aerosmith
It's
to
great.
like even to current day Nicki Minaj and Katy Perry. Literally everyone that you can name in this industry, she's probably dressed them.
Yeah.
And I've probably been in the room, but to see what the end result was, I know it was chaos.
Boots.
I know that show was chaos because number one, working in costuming, directors are insane. And they have ideas, or even just the people that they pair you with, that they'll have ideas that they're expecting you to deliver on in 24 hours.
Yep.
So
You ain't lying.
listen, I already know it was chaotic. So as a performer and someone competing on that show, what was your experience? First of all, like what was the rehearsal process like?
So season one, we were the guinea pigs of the show. That we went through so much. First of all, when we shot the sizzle, 2019, and then it went dark, and then we didn't hear anything at all. And then 2018, then 2019 came around, and they started rolling the ball even faster. Like, oh, we need to shoot another sizzle. We're pitching it to different networks. Originally, they were supposed to pitch it to Bravo. They was like, no. And then they got word that HBO was dropping their first streaming network. And it was like, oh, it's going to be on HBO Max. Great. Next thing you know, I'm in DC working at a temporary pop-up, and they're like interviewing me over the phone. And it's like, oh, this is rolling. Like, after here, I have to head to New York because they were filming it in Connecticut. And so, dear legendary. My God, that was an experience, I tell you. It was an experience, but it was a lot of fun. The rehearsal process the turnover time was insane. From the music to having to come up with the choreography, the costuming, the ideas for the costumes. Literally, sometimes we would shoot the section with Johnny on the camera, and then we would say what we wanted, but it wasn't even actually what we wanted. We just have to have something to talk about.
Yeah.
And then things would change, but we didn't have the budget. There was a certain amount of budget that we were getting. We weren't getting paid a lot of money for it. But we had to remember the bigger picture of why we were doing it. This was going to be something of its caliber that's never been done before on like a huge streaming process. There's really no way to do ballroom. It's so hard to bring it to the forefront of television because ballroom is so raw.
Yeah, and it's very multifaceted. Like there's
Yeah,
so many
so
things
many.
aside from the actual ball
Yeah,
that go on about the lifestyle, about getting the things that you're even wearing for
Yeah.
the ball, and
Yeah.
even connecting with your people. Some of these, because it's from such an urban space.
Yeah.
Some of the people that contribute, that are, you know, in the ballroom scene, some of them don't have phones.
Yep.
Some of like it's
So
it's
many
the situation.
things.
So many
Yeah.
things.
So to really bring this to life, it was going to take a lot. We had, you know, we have consultants on the job. We had Jack, you know, who was amazing, who was on there. But even if, you know, when you have higher ups, you know, and it's interesting because, you know, a lot of the people that were sitting behind the seats, you know, calling the last shots were all white, you know, and so people that have never experienced ballroom before, never been to a
Right.
ball, you know, so they were making a lot of executive decisions that didn't make sense a lot of the time. And in retrospect, in real life, this doesn't happen in ballroom. When we get ready for a ball, we don't have 24 hours. When we get ready for a ball, we get the ball, all the categories, the theme of the ball 3 months in advance. But you have to plan ahead of time. You know, you have to get the material. You know, you have to make the costume if you're like, you know, an individual that's crafty. You know, like, you know, back in the day, they used to steal the looks and like
Yeah.
craft and
Yeah.
just for one night, just to make the moment. You know, and so um, it was difficult. You know, in the way that they treated us, you know, it got to the point where we had to like speak up and start, you know, talking like talking about the things that we wanted. And sometimes they would have us in the holder room with just chairs like this, with
Mhm.
no furniture, and we would be waiting for hours. Like, we need things, you know.
Right.
And so, you know, things weren't great, but we had the family aspect of it. And you know, ballroom is cutthroat, it's shady, you know. You know, they had us like answering questions, you know, to come to
From
be
house to
shady
house.
to house to house, to be shady with the other houses. And
Yeah.
you know, we had certain members in our house that, you know, were raised in ballroom 24/7, and so had that. And then you have myself and Pack Rat, who was just like, you know, like, we're not gonna be shady, but we also not gonna be like nice, you know. And so it was a great experience, honestly. We endured a lot. Pack Rat went through a lot, because, you know, talking about finding hairstylists that understand, you know, her type of hair, and
Yeah.
they didn't have those individuals on set. And so when the show was done, she was like she was literally missing like patches of hair on the side of her head, you know, from the things that they were using. You know, there was a moment where there was a hole on stage and her heel got caught and she twisted her ankle, and she just kept going. And it's like, there's so many moments that people didn't see, and we haven't even had the chance to talk about. But we, you know, we went through a lot, but overall we were top two. You know, we were bringing the heat, and you know, giving the girls a run for their money. You know,
Yes.
no shade. I love House of Balmain. I'm happy that they won.
Yeah.
But baby, we should have won that. Okay? We should have won. No shade. But, you know, I'm happy that, you know, Jamari and the squad won, and, you know, it was what it was. You know, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
We made a lot of connections, and, you know, when the show came out during COVID, it was a hit because everybody was home, and it was HBO.
Everybody was home. Everybody
HBO
was
Max
like,
was like,
entertain me, please.
exactly. And we got a, you know, the unfortunate part about it is that I feel like if the world was open, it would have been a whole different story for a lot of us. You know, we would have been doing a lot of the red carpets, a lot of interviews, a lot of performances.
Right. Yes.
And although we still had that opportunity, a lot of it was happening, you know, in front of our computers, which changed the experience.
Yeah.
Because we weren't together, but
Yeah.
we still got to do a lot of amazing things with it.
Yeah.
You know, to say the
You
least.
know, when it comes to something like Legendary not being, you know, continuing to do seasons, part of me, and hear me out again, because this is probably going to be a little askew. I'm kind of happy that it's not,
Yeah.
only because I say, so you think you can dance, overexposed dance.
Yeah.
And now it's like everybody feels like they can be a dancer, everybody blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I feel like if Legendary was to continue or had continued, it would almost be the same thing of things being overexposed,
Yeah.
people feeling like they can own something
Yeah.
that they don't own,
Yeah.
like people thinking they could be a part of something that they're not a part of, like losing respect for it. And it being something still special and sacred.
Yeah.
because I feel like what So You Think You Can Dance, something like So You Think You Can Dance did, it was great because it catapulted dance to this really big thing, and these dancers were able to get like really great positioning and exposure. But what it did to dance in combination with YouTube is it made it, to me, it made it less special, and uh, less of a family event, because now it's always been a business, but now it turned into something where the business people and non-artists saw it as a vehicle just to make money. So not only would they pretend to be a dancer themselves, they would just use dancers for like a couple $100 because they knew they were starving, and not fully pay them for what they were worth. So there's a double-edged sword with Legendary, to me, not continuing.
I agree. Actually, I'm happy that it's over, but I'm also sad because I feel like if it had the right people behind it,
Right.
with the proper support and listening to the consultants in the show on how we should do certain things, it would have been great. I feel like it would have partly been as big as RuPaul. You know, like, because you can go there's so many houses, there's so much
There's a lot of
talent.
houses. Yeah, so much
You
talent,
can
and just all over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many categories that you can come up with, so many things that you can consider a challenge.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is.
Hey, it is what it is. So ball. Oh, before I even move on, so just so I don't sound like a weirdo, how do you pronounce the house of? Is it Lanvin or Lanvin?
Say it one more time.
Lanvin.
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 Yes. That's like it.
I figured it out because I'm that person's in House of Lanvin.
It's a house. Yeah. So
House of Lanvin.
Is the show is the show like Pose? Is that an accurate depiction of ballroom culture? Do you think?
Suppose was they were telling the story of Paris is Burning. Basically, they went a little bit more in depth of what Paris is Burning was and the characters in Paris is Burning, which I also got the opportunity to do, which was amazing. Especially the first season, having my bestie choreographing it, Lyomi, and being a part of that whole situation. But yeah, Paris is Burning. I mean, Pose is the stories being told a little bit more in depth of Paris is Burning. Mm-hmm.
So that was like House of LaBeija, House of
La Beija. Well, they used a lot of houses that really didn't exist just to fill it up. It was House of La Beija, House of Ninja, House of. There were a lot of houses on there.
I mean, they made some up on Pose, like House of Evangelista,
right?
It's like, but so how can I say, like, when it comes to like how they depicted Pose, how did you feel about like how it came out in the end? Do you feel like it was as close as possible of a depiction that they could do of like the ballroom culture and the lifestyle of it?
Yeah, because they had great consultants on there. Jack was a part of it as well. They had a lot of like the pioneers of ballroom behind it. They had I forget her name, an amazing trans woman who actually wrote like a lot of the characters and a lot of the storylines, who was actually in ballroom. So, I feel like that's a show that's unfortunate that ended as well. And when I heard why it ended, love Ryan Murphy down, but it always boils down to money, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, people, the writer wanting to have, from what I heard, get paid more money for the work that they were putting in and didn't want to pay. So that's another show I feel like could have went far as well.
Yeah, I love the story of that. Like, I enjoy things that get you to understand a story and a perspective. I'm not really a huge fan of shows that turn something into a product.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Obviously, it gives people opportunities to make money and to just see more spaces, But I really enjoy things that are almost like documentaries or even things that are a depiction of a story. I feel like Pose was a really great depiction of a story.
It was. Yeah. Yeah. They did a great job with it. Because I feel like they could have went so many places with the evolution of where ballroom is now.
Mhm.
They could have started out in New York, and then the evolution of like the 90s, and then the 2000s, and then like ballroom being on like
Mhm.
ABDC, and then like
Yeah.
going overseas,
Yeah.
and like what that is. They could have went so many places, but sometimes things end for
ABDC. Wow. Yeah. Lay on me and a Vogue Evolution.
Vogue Evolution.
Wow. Oh my
The
god.
pinnacle of how the world got introduced to Vogue. So
That is true.
because nobody knew about Vogue before that.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, and ABDC was big on MTV then. Everybody was
It
watching.
really
that show,
was.
Oh yes, that was my show. That
Yes,
because
I know.
that was the show. And what was the Vogue? Listen, there's an inside joke with my daughter because we always say, because we watched that in real time, and anytime I would like tell her to do something, and she would just be like, I'd be like, "Oh, you gonna fall out Vogue Evolution style?" So like to this day, that's still like an inside joke with us because like we live for that show, and that to see them, that was a time. Like that show was so huge. Like when it aired, like that was peak MTV. Like I will say that was like one of the last great shows that they really had on there, like music and dance wise, because it really stepped at the bar. Like you really got to see, dance. And I always love seeing it celebrated. Like, I was in it, ballet tap and stuff like that. So it's like my grandmother, we would always, she loves Sammy Davis and I love him and Gregory Hines. And then like one of my favorite movies is Tap. And to see like that's like
such a classic.
Such a classic.
So to see like literally 3 generations, because you're seeing Sammy, Gregory Hines, and then you're introduced to like Savion Glover. So it was just like to see that.
The
Like
evolution
I've
of
always yes, and I've always just loved that. And like, most people don't know like Dule Hill, like, he's a dancer and just, like I grew up watching like Alvin Ailey because my grandma, she was like, wanted, watch art and entertainment. And so I've always had an appreciation for any form of art, but especially like music and dance because it's very important. And most people they think like, oh, this is like a throwaway career. And it's like, no, bitch, that's work.
Yeah.
Like that shit that pliing and plotzing and all that, like having to learn that as a kid. Listen, that shit ain't no. I did it for a little while, and that shit ain't no fucking joke. Like that's not like it's not for the weak. So people that can like make a career out of that, and I just remember like in the 90s loving Fatima and like and Paula Abdul, and just like that made videos. Like when you see choreography, it just amps up the visual. Like you can have a storyline and all that stuff, but the dancing is really like again, it makes or breaks it.
Yeah, we can watch what
Remember the Time,
Remember
Thriller,
the Time,
like
Together Again.
And what do you think about? And what do you think about the dancing? Yes,
Still.
and to this day, that breakdown is in fucking insane. Like to this day,
iconic.
And so people don't really like appreciate how
actually
much it is. Yes, because if you think about it, when you think about the songs, because at the time I haven't seen music videos and I know they still exist, but but in our time, and like when you think about the 90s and the especially like late 80s, but especially all throughout the 90s and early 2000s, it's the visual. So you're putting the music with the visual. So when you think of the song, sometimes you don't even think about the artist. You're thinking about the breakdown. You're thinking about when you think about Are You That Somebody? You're not thinking of
I was just
Aaliyah.
Yeah, particularly Aaliyah.
I mean, I would run home to me of music
Oh yeah,
videos. Like, oh my God,
yeah.
this music video is coming
Yeah.
out today. I gotta
Yeah.
But
watch, you
you
know?
think about that breakdown and the flamenco, like how would you put that together? Or
Right.
when you see, when I think about Missy all in my group, you think about that breakdown. When you think about Remember the Time, you think about the breakdown, but you're visualizing that dance.
Yeah.
So the choreography is just, it's important. And I just wish like people like just really appreciated more the art form that's dance, because like that that's serious. Like that's a job. That's work. It's not like, sorry, you're doing your little dance. No, bitch, this is work. Like this is
Yeah.
it ain't 9 to 5, but sometimes it's 18 hours. It's however long you have
The
to do it.
process.
Like we go 9 to 5, we clock the fuck out.
Right.
Dancers can't do that. Like and I just wish people just had more like respect for like that, for that craft.
It's work. Like
It's
literally,
a lot of work,
we
yeah.
physically are in classes.
Yeah.
Physically are in classes. Speaking of which, I kind of want to delve a little bit into how I remember first meeting Carlos.
Oh my
I'm
God.
trying to think of like who I met him through first. I don't know if it was Kumari or if it was
Kamari.
was
It was
through
Kamari. Yes.
Okay, maybe it was through
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I remember also like just seeing him in class. I was like, oh, he's so cute. Oh, nice. Like, might have had a little crush. But so it's a little nerve-wracking here, but so that, and then I was on an audition. I remember this just so clearly. I was at an audition. I don't remember what the audition
Maya?
was. Might have been Maya. It was I don't know what, I don't remember. I don't remember who, what, I don't know why, but I don't remember who it was. But I remember seeing you do the choreography and your freestyle. Your freestyle. I was like, I don't even like, what am I even gonna go for after somebody just did that? And then he walked over to his friend. I forget what it was. It might have been wasn't Darrell. It what is
Noel?
his name? It was Noel. He was like, "Can you put my rib back in place?" I was like, because he is notorious for throwing a fucking arm back and doing a fucking listen. Like literally, I will never forget him saying, "Can you? My rib is out. Can you just put it back in place?"
Oh
or
my
something.
God. Wow. Wow, Trey, I've known you that long.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's when I had like a crush. Like for me to crush on like people like they have to do something that like impresses me. And I was like so impressed with that. I was like,
That's
like,
so cute.
yeah, so I had a mini crush. Oh my God, I'm saying it in front of my crush. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, because his freestyle was like so good. And I was like, and I'm about to nog after this. Like,
Yo, dear Trey.
yeah, no,
Good
it
times.
was
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So yeah, after that audition, I was like, wow, and I just paid attention to him because I didn't see him often. Like sometime you popped into my class maybe once or
Yeah.
twice.
But and then I started always seeing you at Debbie's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was teaching at a studio called Debbie Reynolds,
Uh-huh.
God rest her soul,
Wow.
and God rest the studio soul.
Yeah.
That was
Mhm.
one of the last great
studios.
and they tore it down and made a fucking post office for a second, and then now it's just
A building.
they don't give a fuck about dancers.
Yeah, they don't.
Like there was so much history in that building, let alone Debbie Reynolds, the performer, the extraordinaire, and Fred Astaire, and just all of those
these
people of
amazing
that
people.
of that era. Michael Jackson Thriller was rehearsed there.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh wow.
like
Yeah.
so it just goes to show you how much people don't care about dance.
Yeah.
And they think they could just use the dancer and not pay the
Mhm.
not ensure the dancer, not protect the dancer, not lift up the dancer. So I think honestly I could say in all of entertainment, even if you go next to like a PA or somebody putting together the stage of a tour, a
Hmm.
dancer is still getting paid less.
Yeah. Facts.
What's
Yeah,
that?
my
Yup.
bad.
That was on point. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
Yeah,
yeah,
point. Yeah, yeah.
no, like
yeah.
that's crazy. So to think of just
Yeah.
someone that literally has to assemble the stage, or just like someone who is tour managing, or is wrangling the dancer, or is a PA making sure the dancers get to the stage on time.
Even them on the union is better than us. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. The
Hmm.
singers for sure get paid better than the
Yep.
dancers.
Facts.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they
And
just
have
standing there.
not they just standing
That
there. Oohs and motherfucking ahs at
ah,
most,
Oh,
unless you're like Erica Badu and you have Duran Bernard as one of your background singers. So you're doing a little more than oohs and ahs.
right.
Speaking of which,
yes.
I used to have Duran on the street. He's another one of my friends.
That'll be great.
But that'll
Yeah.
be fun. What actually I should
Oh,
do like a
yes.
Q&A where we all just like we
Just sitting.
we just sit on the bed. I have this
and have a
air
key.
mattress type set up
Yes.
because I have a visitor. But this is like my
Oh.
media room. But I think I need to have like a whole like
I love him.
episode.
Yeah, he's
I remember watching him when he was like, I want to say the basement of YouTube, like when he was like young,
Yeah,
young.
when you had like
Like I had,
the twist box things.
yes,
Yeah,
like I used to watch him then. So to
yeah. Same.
see
Before I knew
him
him, like
now,
I used to watch that. Yeah.
I actually
yeah,
saw him
so to
at Let's
see him
Dance.
now, it's crazy.
Yeah, and congratulated him on his Grammy. So amazing.
Yeah.
So,
And
so amazing.
yeah, then the person, and I love him because literally the person that you see on stage on anyway, he's the same in
Yeah,
person.
he is. He really is. Yeah.
Yeah. And because like we are pummeling into our time, we need to close out soon. I want to ask you, aside from like the jobs and things that you've done, like the dancing and everything, like what does your family experience you as? Like knowing, big, family member to you, knowing that you like you're in entertainment. Like, what would, let's say, like your little cousin say? Like, would they say like, Carlos is gone all the time. I don't really know him because he's gone a lot, or like what is the lifestyle and connection to your family since you are in this industry? And I know, well, for me, it's interesting because of my entertainment lifestyle. It was completely different than my family. So, like, I have a lot of people that have really good jobs, like steady. They know their schedule months and months ahead versus like me being an artist where my schedule can change 30 minutes from now.
Right.
So, what does
Hmm.
your family experience you as? Do they feel like you're someone that is present or someone that is always gone? I feel like I was experienced as someone that is always gone and trying to figure it out somewhere else because like there wasn't anything around that I liked.
I've definitely missed a lot of like reunions and family gatherings because of my job, but my parents have always been so supportive of my craft, and I think that through the years they've been able to understand it. Um, and I just have a really great supportive system. Like they just support me all the time.
I love to hear
Yeah,
that.
they're just super supportive. They're super proud. Especially when I was on Renaissance, my dad would call me all the time, like, "Oh, I saw that the costume changed," and my mom would call me like, "Oh my God, you've seen this show like 10 times." And you know, my dad wasn't really present when I was training as a kid because he was always working.
Yeah.
But I think he's seen how determined I've been, and when I moved to LA after Sesame Street, he was the reason why I got my first apartment there. He really saw like how bad I wanted to, be in this,
Yeah.
and like we were talking about before, like dancing is not for the weak, and so
Mm-mm.
there's been so many times that I've wanted to quit, and they just always reminded me of like how much I've done it as a child. I would go
Yeah.
like I was always in everybody's Sweet 16. I was always
Yeah.
invited to people's parties, and if people were standing on the wall, holding up the wall, not dancing, me and my sister would be the first one dancing. Like
Yeah.
they just know that this was something that was, a gift,
Yeah.
given by God, and so they made sure that they like poured into it. And I'm sure now they look at me and they're just so happy. You know?
Particularly after this year, like after obviously the
Yes.
Renaissance, but Bonito Bowl, like what a monumental thing to not only experience, but to be of Puerto Rican descent, to be on that world stage of like these racist motherfuckers don't even want to see me up here.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am, bitch.
Right.
Like that's something different and magical.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for you because
Thank you.
you've always, since I met you've always just been such a great person, kind heart, like just even kilter. And I love when I see people like that, like thrive and win and get the things that like people deserve. Because there's a lot of bullshit happening out
Yeah.
here. There's a lot of bullshit happening out here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm happy when I see good people getting good things.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't always that way, and it still isn't that way.
Yeah.
As you see this raggedy ass administration, all the raggedy people are face value thriving and
Mhm.
falling apart and closed doors.
Yep.
Because listen, this thing is going down in flames. In
Baby.
flames. But it looks really
Yes.
pretty. Like it looks like, oh, they're winning, they're doing great. No, people don't know that. Like, not only physically what you're seeing in business wise and surface level, there's also like a spiritual level that's happening behind it. Hey, there's also a spiritual level that is happening behind the scenes that is returning everything to a matriarchal society. Right now, we're living in a patriarchal society, but like spiritually, things are being returned to a matriarchal society, and they are clawing and fighting and doing everything that they can to stop that. So physically, it is manifesting into Trumps and Pam Bondis and things like that of that nature that look like they're doing well and thriving when they're receiving all these back payments and under the table shit. But like all their shit is about to burn to the ground.
Yeah, I think it's
Mhm.
also like it's so unfortunate, but I think we needed to see what was hiding in the dark for so many years.
Yeah. So just how I talk about double-edged swords. Trump, he is a big ass double-edged sword because on one side he is bullshit in half. On the other side, he is revealing everything.
Yeah.
Everything they've kept hidden for
Yep.
not decades, but hundreds of years. The racists are ballsy enough to be like, hey, girl,
we're finally out
Yep.
here.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, hey,
Yep.
Jean Grey. Jean Grey making an appearance back there. She throwing her little tail. Look.
Oh. Oh.
Come here. You want to come here? Yeah, she's trying to corral me to tell me it's time. She's trying to tell me it's time to go to bed. She's trying to tell me it's time to take my ass to bed. That's what it is, because she
So,
already
Carlos,
corralled a being there.
Oh,
So yeah,
really?
she's saying
Listen, Jean Grey be like, listen.
yes. We just pay rent here. Like we just pay rent here. This is her shit. We just pay rent.
Yes.
This is her shit. And she's like, bitch, it's time to go to bed. Do you see the time?
Listen. But I feel like we're gonna have to have Carlos back on because there's still so many things we'll talk about. But
yes, definitely.
So that's where to find you.
I'm actually only on Instagram. Honestly, that's like where I'm at the most. Carlos_Basquiat. I am on Facebook, Carlos Irizarry. I don't have a TikTok.
And neither do I now.
We don't need to. We don't even need to feed into
I
that.
had a TikTok,
thing.
but I don't. I don't. I think all this information that they're asking for when you become, when you try to sign into TikTok, I'm like against.
Because it's crazy rules now. It's like they own you basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I was like,
yeah,
no, I'm not here for that. But Instagram is a great platform, and Instagram, Carlos_Basquiat.
Yes.
And I also teach class at Movement Lifestyle every once in a blue. So if you see me in the schedule, come through. But that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. What about you, Nikki? Where can they find your ass?
You can find me on Instagram as well at bitch_happens, and the backup is bitch_happens 2.0. Um, and,
I'm
and
not the
I
only one. I
love
get a key out
that.
of it every time she texts.
Oh my god.
um, there's new. Make sure you guys check out. I have the merch store. We have some knickknack after dark, and I'm gonna be designing some new stuff there. But our merch is at nick-knack.printify.me, and then the FTP store is ftp-store.printify.me. I got some new items up at the FTP store, so go now, and I'm going to be adding more. So we have some new merch, new Kamala merch. We have some new Cracker Babble merch. Um, Shut Up Honky.
Dr. Babble is crazy.
It's crazy.
We have some new FTP merch.
Yes.
So yeah, we got new stuff coming
Uh-oh.
as well. So make sure y'all check that out. And FTP will be back on Sunday with Trey, Vision, and I at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So we'll be back. So make sure y'all check us out. Carlos, thank you so much for stopping by. We want to have you again.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much. And we wish you the best. You have had a stellar career and we want you to have more. So please promise to come back because we want to see you again.
I love this guy
Thank
right
you.
here. So
And I love him too.
My old crush say he love me.
Stop.
You know what might happen after this? Wait a minute. I'm just kidding.
and the Instagram gonna change too. And then there were three.
It does say after dark.
Okay, so the
Wait a minute.
IG is gonna be, and then there were three again.
You play, Nikki. Thank you so much.
I'm a mess.
Such a great
And you guys can find me at Trey Rich Live on Instagram. I have a TikTok again, but I'm not even dealing with that. But find me on Instagram at Trey Rich Live, and then find me and my partner at Just Like That. There were two. Yes. So love you guys. Thank you guys for tapping in and tuning in, and thank you again for joining us.
Absolutely.
Carlos.
Thank you for having me, Trey.
All right,
Yes.
y'all. We'll see y'all
Love
next
y'all.
week.
Yes,
Love
but go ahead and
you.
get yours, Nikki, because I know what you finna do. You ain't going to bed.
Bang, 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 bang.
Downtown, throw your woman around.
Pound. Listen, my man. Listen, he about to be gone for 6 weeks. I got to get my back broke.
Get it in.
Get it in.
Get it in.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Yes. Good times. Love y'all. Love y'all so much.